Hey, gorgeous people. Happy Thursday. Heather here to start the month-long series of how to optimize your digestion. And if you're wondering, like, why is this important, or does this really apply to me? Let me tell you that this applies to you if you are on any kind of health journey, right? It doesn't have to be just weight loss, but any kind of health journey, you have to optimize your digestion in order to feel healthy. If you experience any kind of digestive distress, any kind of upset stomachs, or heartburn or acid reflux, or bloating, constipation, or like terrible poos, right? Like, let's get honest here. Right? Any of that stuff where you feel uncomfortable after you eat, this is going to apply to you. If you're low on energy, this is important for you. If you're not getting the sleep that you feel like you should be getting, this is a piece to that puzzle as well. Okay, so this information all month long is going to apply to you if you deal with any of those things, which I bet almost all of you deal with one or more of those things, right? Also stress, and if you're always like eating on the go and, constantly like just go, this is also going to apply to you, right? Okay, so let's get right into it. Tip number 1, there's going to be 10 tips on how to optimize your digestion. Tip number 1, chew your food. Chew your food. And that might seem really simple, and you might be tempted to be like, whatever, I chew enough. But let me tell you this, most people have a habit of chewing way too fast, okay? Most of us, because we are constantly on the go. We constantly are running from one thing to the next. And typically how we do life is how we do food. So if you are moving at warp speed through life, chances are you're eating at warp speed as well. And most of us don't even realize how fast we are eating, okay? And so chewing, honestly, I believe is probably the most undervalued and underutilized tool to help us feel really good. We're super underestimating the power of chewing. Okay, so let's talk about why chewing is actually important and what's actually going on in the body. Slow down, Heather. God, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. What's actually going on in the body while we're chewing and why it's important, right? Because personally, you've probably heard, chew your food 30 times, right? And you're like, okay, let me get right on that. And so I'm personally not motivated to do anything until I know why I'm doing it, right? And how it's actually benefiting my body. So let's talk about why it's benefiting you, why it will benefit you to slow down and chew. So first of all, I'm just looking at my notes and I already got ahead of myself and said that, so I'll move past it. So when we're eating really fast and not chewing enough, right? Because we're on the go, we're multitasking during meals, we're not paying attention to what we're doing. When we're eating really fast, it means we're not breaking down the food as well as we should. So it means that these massive pieces of food are getting forced down into your digestive system, and the body has to work really, really hard to break it down, right? So that alone is making it harder on our bodies than it needs to be. It's literally making the process of digestion that much harder, which means it's putting that much more stress on our system, which means that so much of our energy has to go to simply breaking down our food. Right? You wonder why you don't have energy, because so much is going to the simple process of digestion when we're eating too fast. So it puts a lot of pressure and stress on our bodies, and then that's when we're going to feel low energy, that's when we're going to end up storing more fat, and that's when we're going to end up feeling a lot of that digestive upset, because your body's like, wow, oh my gosh, these massive pieces of food, like, slow down up there, right? So when our bodies have to work super hard like that, right, that is when we're inhaling these massive pieces of food. That's exactly when we'll feel bloating. It'll feel like we've got this brick of food sitting in our stomach, because that's literally what's happening, right? That's upset stomach, gas, heartburn, all of this, right? It's that extra stress, like that feeling of uncomfortableness is digestive stress, right? Like think about it. It's stress on the system. And we already know that healthy digestion is the biggest stress we put on our system every day as it is. Healthy digestion. So imagine when we're scarfing down our food, it has to break down these massive pieces of food, how much extra stress, unneeded stress, we're putting on our systems, right? And then that directly depletes our energy. So now chewing, the act of chewing, aside from just breaking down your food into smaller pieces, chewing actually activates your saliva, the production of saliva, okay? And saliva is super important, and we'll get into more detail about this in a future video as well. But saliva is super important because the triggering of saliva then, and the act of chewing, then triggers a whole cascade of chemical and mechanical processes in your body that aid in digestion. Okay? So, if we're not taking the time to slow down and chew and activate that saliva, that means that all of these other processes that are a part of digestion, they don't have enough time to actually be activated. You see what I mean? So then again, that's making the whole process of digestion that much harder. So the longer the food stays in the chewing process, the more time the body has to trigger all of those reactions, so that by the time it gets to those spots in your body, you've got your acids flowing, you've got your digestive enzymes flowing, and saliva itself coming from the mouth has digestive enzymes that already start to break down the food in your mouth as well. Right? So this is super important. Chewing and saliva, super important for making it easier on the body. The more time that you spend chewing, the smaller you break down the food particles, the bigger you make the surface area of the bolus, it's called, the food mixed with the saliva, right? Going down into your system. So the bigger surface area you make it, which means that all those digestive enzymes that have been activated by all the various processes going on in your body, which started from salivation and chewing. All of those digestive enzymes have more area, more space to have at it and break it up, right? And then the better that it's broken up, the easier it is to digest, which means it's a natural metabolism booster. It means all of your energy isn't going to simply breaking down the food, right? And not to mention, the easier it is absorbed into your system, which means that those nutrients from your food can easily be absorbed directly into your cells, which then again means instant energy because nutrients are going into your cells at their optimal level. You feel me? So did I miss anything? The longer you chew, the more time to chemically alert and fire up all the other digestive processes, right? So the more you chew, the less stress on your digestive system. That is huge, right? And then you can use that extra energy literally on anything else that you want to be doing. That's the really cool part. So what do? Slow down. Slow down and chew your food. Savor every bite. Know that by slowing down, allowing that food to be broken down in your body, allowing that saliva to produce before you're already swallowing it down, that is going to make every step of the digestive process that much easier. Which means that your body can start working like the finely tuned machine it's designed to be. It means you'll have more energy, less digestive upset, boosted metabolism. Literally, it helps every single process and system in your body when your digestion is functioning optimally. Okay? Savor every bite. Enjoy it. Know that you're doing good things for your body. Know that this is nourishing your very cells by doing this. And so not only by slowing down and really chewing your food, you're going to make digestion easier on your body, right? Which is going to help you feel better, like I've said a million times now. But by doing that, you also get to enjoy your food that much more. Think about it. You actually get to be present in your meal. You get to enjoy your food that much more instead of just mindlessly eating. And then we don't even realize that we've had a meal and then we continue to feel hungry. You see where I'm going with that? So by slowing down and savoring each bite, you get to be mindful in your meal. You get to enjoy your food that much more. And you may start to notice that doing that simple act of chewing and slowing down, that you start to feel satiated, satisfied on less food. Yeah, that is the power of chewing. Simple chewing, okay? So there we have it. That's tip number 1. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I'll see you again really soon for tip number 2. Have a great day.